Hello, good afternoon. I am Sofia Alonso and I'm going to present to you my final project of a CLIL lesson plan. I have decided to do it for a VT cycle in filming. That's like a ciclo de formación profesional en realización for the labor insertion module, since there is a part that can be taught in English. You can find here some information of the laws about this cycle. Por ejemplo, la ley por la que se establece el currículo del ciclo formativo de grado superior y también la ley por la que se establece el título de técnico superior y se fijan sus enseñanzas mínimas. I have decided to do it for this VT cycle since there is very little information and guidance about it because it is a newly implemented section. So I would like to give some light on this topic. The temporary location for this module will be just before the students' internships in real companies, so that they are already familiarized with the labor work. The problem in CLIL, well, in these VT classes, is that they are very heterogeneous in terms of age. And this directly affects the English level of students, because there are some students that have already finished their bachillerato years and they have acquired a good English level, while the others might not have been dealing with English for a long time. So it's very important for a teacher in this type of cycles to be ready for any difficulty that students might present. We will be working on different key competencies that appears in the European reference framework. The first one, the communication in the mother tongue. Well, the students will work on their communication skills in any given context. Also, communication in foreign languages, the same communication skills, but this time in foreign languages. The mathematical competence and science competence, we will not be working on that because obviously it is a cycle in filming, so they are not related to that. The digital competence, of course, because it's an audiovisual cycle, so they have to work on that. Learning to learn, so that students can scaffold their own learning. Social and civic competencies, working on their social skills and, for example, teamwork. The sense of initiative and entrepreneurship, so that they can be creative and original in their works. And also the cultural awareness and expression, because they will be comparing the English culture and the Spanish one, but also with the culture of their classmates as well. We can split in two types the main objectives of VT of this cycle: the content goals and the linguistic goals. For example, the first one, to know how to look for a job. Okay, we will give them tools and some instruments to look for a job, and to know how to do a cover letter. So we will teach them how to express themselves in a formal way. Also, how to do a CV. So the linguistic goal would be how to structure a CV. Also, we will give them some tools and some tips to choose a job profile, and also to defend the job profile chosen. So we will help them to understand all the areas concerning the job profile chosen. Okay, and then for example, the activities or the functions, the requirements, skills, etc. They will learn how to sell oneself. So the linguistic goal would be able to present yourself in a formal way, and also in a grammatical and syntactic correct way. To know how to succeed in a job interview, so the linguistic goal would be to acquire a reasonable fluency in English to succeed in a job interview. And also a content goal this content goal wouldn't be really related to these modules, to the labor and session module, but because they are learning, they are studying an audiovisual cycle, they should know how to record and edit a video. So the contents regarding these objectives, the contents would be some techniques and instruments in job seeking, features of a CV, so we will teach them the language, the sections, and also other information to include. Some features of a cover letter, which language should we use, the information to include, formal expression, etc. The job profiles, we will cover all the activities, the functions, requirements, the skills and competencies. So we will focus also on the variety of the audiovisual equipment according to the performed function, and also to the personal and professional skills or attitudes, so the punctuality, responsibility, organization, etc., teamwork, team leading, all that. And last but not least, the job interview. So we will give them some tips for the timing and behavior of our job interview. So the lesson plan will be divided into 5 sessions. In the first session, we will break the ice with a motivational speech, and we will introduce the CV. Then the second session, we will introduce the cover letter, and we will do some activities, some practical activities on them. The third session, we will cover the job seeking topic, so how to look for a job and how to create a job opening and all that. And also we will work on the job profiles. Session 4, students will present their elevator pitches. And elevator pitch is like a technique where you have to sell yourself in a very little time. So it's like you meet somebody very important in an elevator, and you have to sell yourself so that this important person can hire you. And also we will practice some job interview for the final exam that will take place on the 5th session. So let's go little by little. So the session 1, we will watch Jack Ma's motivational speech. Jack Ma is the owner of Alibaba, and he gives motivational speech for the young people to look for a job. So we will watch this video, and we will comment it on class. Then we will introduce the CV. So with the brainstorming activity, we will see which parts should we include in a CV. Then we will watch go through some slides of this PowerPoint presentation. Let's see if it works. Yes, okay, this is some tips to create a super CV. And we will go through it. I have also this presentation in the written final project, so that you can consult it there. Then the teacher will show the students a Europass CV model, so that they are familiarized also with the European CV model. For example, oh my god, sorry. I think it's not working, I'm sorry. Okay, I have also uploaded in the final project as well, so you can consult it there. And as homework, these are the main activities. I have developed it a little bit deeper on the written final project. But then as homework, they have to do to make a CV for the next session. Then in session 2, we will introduce the cover letter. Students in groups will do a KWL chart, so what they know, what they want to know, and what they have learned. This final part will be at the end of the session, about what's a cover letter. Then we will see also this PowerPoint presentation. I think it's working, yes. So some tips to create a cover letter. I have also uploaded it into the final project, the written final project. After watching this presentation, we will do some activities. The first one, I find it very interesting, but I think it's not working. I'm sorry. I have them also in the written part. So in the first one, they will read a cover letter, and then the teacher will read some affirmations, and the students have to say with which rectangle these affirmations go. And the second activity would be in pairs, and it's fill in the gaps. So they have a cover letter, and they have to complete the gaps with the correct word. Then we will play a kind of game where they have to say themselves in 30 seconds so that their classmates can hire them. And then as homework, they will have to do a cover letter as well as an elevator pitch to present it in the fourth session. Then the session 3, we will introduce the job seeking. So they have to look for a real job, and they have to create a job opening. And we also introduce the job profiles, and as homework, they have to choose their own job profile so that they can defend it in the final exam. In session 4, they will present their elevator pitches, and we will be practicing some job interview questions. So in pairs, they have to interpret the roles of interviewer and interviewee, and also a role play in the front of the class. And the 5th session, we will have a final exam. We will do a listening part, so we will re-watch the Jack Ma's motivational speech, where they have to do a summary and give their opinion about it. And the teacher will make an individual job interview to each student, where they have to defend the job profile they have chosen. Job profiles such as assistant director, camera operator, etc. Then the resources, the availability, the usual classroom and also the computer room, and some materials like the projector, computers, blackboard, chalk, etc. And then the evaluation would be the CV is the 15% of the final mark, cover letter as well, elevator pitch the 20%, in the final exam would be 40%, where the listening part would be 40% of the final exam, and the job interview is 60%. And then the teacher will also take into account the participation in class activities with a 10%. And I have here an example of an evaluation chart for the CV and the cover letter. And I have also included into the written final project, so that you can find more information about evaluation and also some rubrics. And that's all. Thank you for listening and watching my presentation. And if you have some doubts, you can ask me.